Diddy thought he could hide behind disguises forever. But Nancy Grace just exposed everything. What he wore, where he went, and how deep this freak-off madness really goes. We're talking full Muslim women's outfits, Michael Jackson-style burqas, and a male escort called the Punisher, who walked into something way darker than he expected. And when the feds raided his mansion, it wasn't just baby oil and heels they found. They uncovered drugs, guns, and Obama-shaped ecstasy pills. This isn't just a scandal. It's a full-blown takedown. What used to be whispers is now headlines. Stay locked in. It gets even crazier.
So, Diddy thought he could hide behind disguises forever, but Nancy Grace just exposed what he was actually wearing at those freak-offs.
A bombshell in the courtroom. A witness describing Sean Combs, aka Diddy, fully from the neck down, disguising his face.
And bruh, this ain't your typical costume party gone wrong. We're talking Muslim women's disguises, Michael Jackson inspired burqas, and a male escort called the Punisher, who's spilling more tea than a broken teapot. And just when you think it can't get weirder, they found Obama-shaped ecstasy pills in his stash. Let's be real, Diddy's been playing dress up like it's Halloween year-round. But here's where it gets absolutely unhinged. Witnesses saw him fully nude from the neck down, but from the neck up, rocking a full Muslim woman's disguise at a freak-off. That's not just weird, that's a whole Christopher Nolan movie plot right there. His former PR guy Rob Schuer basically confirmed Diddy was obsessed with disguises. Baseball caps, dark glasses, fake beards, mustaches. The man was trying to move incognito like some kind of hip-hop ninja. And get this, he was apparently inspired by Michael Jackson, who also used burqas as disguises. Talk about learning from the best, or worse, depending on how you look at it. But here's the twist nobody saw coming. So there's this male escort who goes by the Punisher, and no, I'm not making this up. This guy thought he was heading to a bachelorette party, but instead walks into what can only be described as Diddy's personal theater production. The woman in disguise tells him her husband wanted to watch. And folks, when I tell you this wasn't a one-time thing, the Punisher testified he was involved in 8 to 12 of these events between 2012 and 2016. That's not just dedication, that's a whole business arrangement. And here's where it gets even more uncomfortable. Both the Punisher and another escort talked about experiencing erectile dysfunction, with one literally blaming it on Diddy and Cassie. Like, imagine having to explain that to your doctor.
So an exotic male dancer just testified today, Sheree, called himself the Punisher. No lie, his website was called The Punisher. He worked for a male exotic review that went to bachelorette parties. Get this, it was called Hulkamania, I think. Oh my MGs. And he said, and I quote, I don't know if he was a professional dry, if you know what I mean. Hilarious stuff, the Punisher. I mean, look, obviously there's a lot of disgusting, serious things in this, but this case, I mean, they got to be ready to make a movie of this already. Not on Lifetime. Lifetime cannot handle this story. But it is just so funny. The guy's name is The Punisher, but here's what's sad. He has a self-help book called The Freezer Meat, and Diddy's lawyer goes, what does that mean, the freezer meat? He goes, you want your meat as hard as it is when it's frozen, because this guy apparently suffered from ED, look it up, not because of the diddler he did a little bit before, but especially since Diddler had to watch and sit in the corner and diddly doodles, the guy lost it, man.
But the feds weren't done collecting receipts. 90 federal agents swarmed Diddy's Miami mansion like they were raiding a cartel compound. They came prepared for armed guards, surrounded the property by land and water, because apparently regular police work wasn't enough for this case. 6 people in the house, 6 pairs of handcuffs. Nobody was getting a free pass that day.
Morning, watch how federal agents took Sean Diddy Combs into custody. He's seen in this video entering the Park Hyatt Hotel in Midtown Manhattan with others when agents from Homeland Security Investigations approach and separate him. They place Combs under arrest and lead him out the front door in handcuffs. His lawyer said Combs had come to New York 2 weeks earlier with the intention of turning himself in. He did not expect the agents to be waiting at his hotel last Monday night.
Why doesn't the government want him to turn himself in? Because then they can't ask for detention. So they go and they arrest him.
But what they found inside, that's where this story goes from weird to call your lawyer right now territory. 2 defaced AR-15s with scratched off serial numbers, loaded magazines ready to go, women's platform heels, Balenciaga boots with cell phones hidden inside, and a Gucci bag containing a rolled up $100 bill, those pills and powders they found, later identified as cocaine, ketamine, and Xanax. Basically a full-service pharmacy for whatever kind of party you're throwing. And then there's the bathroom discovery that nobody asked for. In Diddy's bathroom, federal agents discovered what can only be described as an industrial supply of baby oil and 31 bottles of Astroglide. Like, what kind of activities require that much lubrication? We need answers, but honestly, maybe we don't. Oh, and 2 rubber duckies, because apparently even freak-offs need bath toys. But wait, well, there's more. They showed a sealed photo to agents and attorneys with cameras turned off. What was in that picture that made them go full blackout mode? My imagination is running wild, and I don't like where it's going. The most disturbing detail, Obama-shaped ecstasy pills. That's not just crossing a line, that's obliterating the entire concept of boundaries. Legal analyst Eric Faddis broke down the RICO charges, and folks, this isn't just some fancy legal term. RICO requires at least 2 related offenses within 10 years affecting interstate commerce. Translation, they're not just going after Diddy for one thing, they're building a pattern that spans years.
What is the RICO Act, and how does it relate to racketeering? If you've ever wondered about the laws that combat organized crime, you're probably curious about the RICO Act. So let's break it down and see how it relates to racketeering. The RICO Act, or the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act, is a federal law passed in 1970 to tackle organized crime. It was signed into law by President Richard M. Nixon with the primary goal of targeting mafia bosses and other leaders of large criminal groups.
The underlying felony, sex trafficking. That's not a charge you walk away from with community service. Meanwhile, former assistant David James testified that Diddy told him to file a fake police report claiming a female chef Diddy allegedly attacked was actually the aggressor, because nothing says innocent like witness tampering and filing false reports.
Holmes asked James to go to the police and file a report claiming that the chef had been the aggressor. James said that he felt he didn't want to file a false statement with the police. Instead, he just drove around for a while and came back and told Holmes that he had done it.
And let's not forget how obsessed Diddy was with controlling his image. His PR guy revealed Diddy worked his whole life to create that king-like persona, using media to control every narrative. He was the CEO of his own universe until reality came knocking. Even Cassie's name keeps coming up in all this mess, showing just how deeply these allegations are intertwined with his personal relationships. It's a tangled web that keeps getting more complicated. So, what do you think? Is this justice finally catching up, or is there more to this story than we're being told? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe because when it comes to celebrity downfalls, the hits just keep coming.